Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A man charged with rape and kidnapping was freed from the Chelan County Jail on bail yesterday and placed on an electric home monitoring program. Chelan County expects to spend almost $57 million next year, while the Douglas County budget is almost $29 million, both up from last year. This foggy, cloudy weather will continue into the weekend with showers in our forecast early next week. Your complete local weather coming up in a bit. A suspected drug dealer sought since 2021 for allegedly carrying large amounts of fentanyl and heroin for sale has been found in state custody. 43-year-old Brandon Vaughn Davlar of East Wenatchee has multiple prior drug convictions. The Columbia River Drug Task Force investigated Davlar 2 years ago and allegedly found at least 300 fentanyl pills, 40 grams of heroin, and 46 grams of methamphetamine when they searched a backpack they'd seized from his home. Prosecutors charged him in December of that year with 3 felony counts of possession with intent to sell. Davlar finally turned up this month in Department of Corrections custody and now will be brought to Chelan County Superior Court for arraignment next week. A co-defendant in the case pleaded guilty last month. A man charged with rape and kidnapping was freed from the Chelan County Jail yesterday and placed on an electric home monitoring program. 52-year-old Darren Daniel Hunter met the $750,000 cash bail requirement set by Judge Kristen Ferreira and now must wear a monitoring bracelet and remain confined to a Chelan home except for grocery shopping and visits with his attorney. Hunter is a former Seattle area man charged with first-degree rape and kidnapping, second-degree assault, first-degree robbery, and drug violations after Chelan County Sheriff's deputies said he assaulted a woman at his Chelan home. He pleaded guilty last year to misdemeanor assault with sexual motivation against a woman he dated. Hunter faces trial in February. The Douglas County PUD gave a special presentation on hydrogen-powered vehicles during the Clean Energy Expo yesterday at the Wenatchee Convention Center. The event, which was organized by Chelan, Douglas, and Grant County PUDs, highlighted the future energy options for the local region. Douglas County PUD General Manager Gary Ivory updated everyone on plans for the new hydrogen plant currently underway near Orondo to include fueling stations for hydrogen fuel cell-powered vehicles. The presentation highlighted the efficiency of hydrogen cars versus other vehicles.
This car goes 400 miles. It fuels in 3 minutes and it goes 400 miles. It makes water, it makes water. So you pull it, there's a little button that you push on the dash and it dumps the water out after, because that's the effluent, that's the exhaust from that process. So diesel on the top, fuel cell truck on the bottom. Little drag race for you. Could have drag races.
Look at that.
Woo! Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Same weight, same everything.
Wow.
What's not to like about that? Yeah, uphill. It's got just tons of torque. It's a semi with an electric motor, right?
Confluence Health has selected Brian Berry to serve as the organization's first ever Chief Ambulatory and Clinic Network Officer. Confluence created the position to focus on outpatient services as part of the executive leadership team alongside the Chief Executive Officer, Chief Nursing Officer, Chief Financial Officer, and others. Berry brings with him over 22 years of experience in healthcare leadership roles. Berry most recently served as the Chief Operating Officer for Multicare Medical Associates in Tacoma, a large medical group with more than 600 physicians and advanced practice providers. When we come back, the Wenatchee Central Lions Club is awarded $50,000 to Sage Advocacy Center to help expand their emergency shelter. And a donation made in honor of a late English educator has renewed the funding for the English speaking and listening skills courses at Wenatchee Valley College. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
In Digital Media Arts program, we learn about video production gear and editing by the combination of class projects and nonprofit work and employment.
It makes things happen.
Yeah.
It's pretty magical.
We work in the industry at the Wenatchee Road, NCWLIFE channel, and the Town Toyota Center events. Every day we work with industry standard equipment for a hands-on learning experience.
The Wenatchee Central Lions Club is awarded $50,000 to Sage Advocacy Center to help expand their emergency shelter. The shelter currently has 23 beds for women and children who are fleeing or impacted by domestic violence. The expansion of the shelter would add 10 more beds, a new bathroom, and making the shelter ADA compliant. Sage says the shelter has been at capacity or nearly at capacity for the last several months. Residents at the shelter are provided with food, bedding, household supplies, and emergency financial assistance during their stay. Sage says the donation by the Lions Club is the largest investment into the expansion of the shelter by the community to date. Chelan County expects to spend almost $57 million next year compared to $52 million in 2023. County commissioners passed the budget on Monday, including law enforcement expenditures for 3 new sheriff's deputies and 1 deputy prosecutor. Rising costs of business led the county to tap into about $2.6 million from its reserve fund to plug some budget holes. In Douglas County, commissioners approved the 2024 budget 2 weeks ago with an estimated $28.7 million in expenses. That's about a $3 million increase over this year. That includes a new $500,000 expenditure to improve the Superior Court system and a $700,000 increase in the cost of lodging inmates in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. A donation made in honor of a late English educator has renewed the funding for the English speaking and listening skills courses at Wenatchee Valley College. Ford Barrett began funding these courses, which are part of the college's Transitional Studies program, in honor of his wife Marlis, who passed away in 2021. Marlis was also a founder of Wenatchee Valley College's Hispanic Orchard Employee Education Program, which helps increase the professional abilities of agricultural employees, including through English classes. The first speaking and listening courses were offered in 2022, with 23 students registered in the first quarter, and due to high demand, more classes have now been added. The courses now serve an average of 40 students per quarter, with spring quarter of this year seeing more than 60 students enrolled in 5 sections. Coming up next, we will help you get to know 7th District State Senator Shelly Short, who represents almost all of Douglas, Okanogan, and Grant counties in tonight's feature story. Fog and low clouds will continue across north central Washington this weekend, with showers headed our way early next week. I'll have all the details in your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
In tonight's feature story, State Senator Shelly Short represents practically all of Douglas County, Okanogan County, and part of Grant County, but the Republican lawmaker's home base is a long way from the Wenatchee Valley. Redistricting in 2021 made the 7th District the largest legislative area in Washington, and as a result, she's still getting to know thousands of new constituents. In a Zoom interview, Senator Short spoke with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins about her expanded district, including her hometown of Addy in Stevens County.
It's about 700 people, unincorporated. We actually have some acreage and a farmhouse that we bought 27 years ago. So it's where we raised our kids. We have 2 adult children, and it's just very much agricultural area, and we just love it.
What was your reasoning for wanting to run for office, join political office in the first place?
I say it was by accident, because it's something I never thought that I would do, in my lifetime. Those who knew me in school knew I didn't like getting up and standing up in front of people and speaking. But I'll tell you, a lot of people encouraged me to run. And the thing that I loved most was just really helping people. And when I worked for Congressman Ethercutt, who was the 5th Congressional District Congressman, I ran his Northern District office. And it ignited something in me I didn't know I had, which was really fighting for people and working with people and trying to make sure their voices are heard. And I never dreamed it would land me in a position like this, but I am grateful, and it's an honor.
As you mentioned, you worked for Congressman Nethercutt. You worked for Kathy McMorris Rogers, who later represented your area. You were working with Joel Kretz as a legislative aide after you joined the State House. Jacqueline Maycumber, who was your legislative aide, then became the 7th District State Representative. It seems like you had a network of support going into office.
Sure. I can tell you that running for office was the hardest thing I've ever done. There were 5 of us in the primary. I never thought it was mine. I did not go in with that attitude. It was a lot of hard work, going door to door and just meeting people where they're at and letting them know that they can come and talk with me, and I'll sit and listen. And so it by no means, I did have those relationships, absolutely, and I still do, but I never thought that it was just going to be, something that was automatic.
Prior to redistricting, you represented at least part of Spokane County, Pend Oreille County, Stevens, Ferry, and a portion of Okanogan County. You've been redistricted as of 2021, and the 7th District is now geographically the largest of the legislative districts.
Yes.
So you have a lot of ground to cover. So that constituent service that you mentioned, is it more difficult to do with that much territory to cover?
The hardest part is I like being in person. I like being approachable, available, and I still think I can do that. I am doing it differently, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to be in person. Utilizing this technology virtually, a lot of phone calls, making sure that people know that I'm available, is what I think has been my trademark throughout my time in the legislature. And I want to continue that. But actually, my husband has roots in Douglas County. His aunt was the district court judge, Judy McCauley. And so we have family in the area, so I'm not totally unfamiliar with it, but great people, great issues. I'm having a lot of fun just getting to know folks.
All right, time to take a check now of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday. And boy, we had consistent weather this week with lots of fog and yes, low-hanging clouds. You can see the mountaintops here as we take a look at our Billy Goat Sky-Fi Tower camera. Yes, the Columbia, the Methow rivers are down below, also the cities of Pateros and Brewster, and we saw a lot of that. It's an inversion all over North Central Washington, and that is going to cause an air stagnation situation as we get into the next couple of days. It's cold air trapped under warm air, and that's what we've been seeing almost all of this week. Light winds, and then all of those pollutants get trapped underneath sort of that lid, and that's what we could see over the next couple of days. Probably some degraded air quality, so if you are sensitive to that, be careful if you are headed outside over the next couple of days. Today's high temperature, 39 degrees, 4 degrees above where we should be, or I should say 6 degrees above at 33 for this time of year. Our record high, 50 degrees, and that was set back in 2002. We didn't warm up much. We started off the day at 36. So a 3-degree warm up during the day today. 24 is our normal low, and our record cold 3 below zero, and that was set in 1964. Sunrise 7:41, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:10. We are 1 week away from winter, and I'll tell you what, it's not going to look much like a winter forecast. We'll get you there in a second, but tomorrow's high temperatures as we get into the weekend, a lot like today. 37 in Moses Lake and Ephrata. 38s for Quincy, Wenatchee, 37s up to Entiat and Chelan, 36 for you folks tomorrow for a high temperature in Omak. Nice day in Leavenworth and Cashmere into the mid and upper 30s. All right, tonight we can expect more of that patchy fog still under that dome of high pressure in the Pacific Northwest, but there's a large area of low pressure that's set to move north over the next couple of days, and we'll talk about how that'll affect us. Lows tonight around 30 degrees. For Saturday, morning fog, and I think that'll give way to some partly cloudy skies in the afternoon on Saturday. High temperatures in the upper 30s, and boy, just mild temperatures all over the west kicking off our weekend. For Sunday, a lot like Saturday, except a little bit cooler. Partly cloudy skies. We're getting back to more seasonal temperatures on Sunday with highs in those mid-30s. For Monday, kicking off our next work week, there's that low pressure moving onshore, and it's got some help coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. That's going to give us a lot of clouds on Monday, about a 30% chance of rain mixed with snow. High temperatures on Monday, still on the mild side in those upper 30s. For Tuesday, I think our best shot for rain. This is your morning commute on Tuesday, a 40% chance of rain and snow. Things will taper off in the afternoon for Tuesday, and that'll allow us to get to a high temperature of right around 40 degrees. For your midweek Wednesday, partly cloudy skies as things quiet down. Here's our area of low pressure as it moves south on Wednesday. We'll see some sun Wednesday afternoon, and look at those highs into the mid-40s midweek next week. And then as we get you into the end of the forecast on Thursday, high pressure anchored right over Spokane, and that will make for a nice end of our week. And also, first day of winter on Thursday, and it's not going to feel much like it. Mostly cloudy with high temperatures on Thursday in those low 40s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. 30 overnight tonight. Pretty quiet weather for this weekend. 38 Saturday, 35 on Sunday. Maybe some morning fog on Saturday, and then a few showers in our forecast for Monday and Tuesday. A 30 to 40% chance to kick off next week, and then we're going to warm up by Wednesday and Thursday. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. 44 on Wednesday and 41 your high temperature on Thursday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Well, don't look now, but the Kraken are heating up the ice. Seattle blew out the Chicago Blackhawks last night in NHL play 7-1. It's the second straight win for a team that had struggled so far in a lot of one-goal games this season. Not the case last night. Kyler Yamamoto started the scoring in the first period.
It comes out to center. Yamamoto, 2 points on Tuesday with a shot. He scores! Kyler Yamamoto! Vince Dunn circling the track with it. Up top, Larson, now Dunn, a one-timer. They score! A steal. Beauvillier. Radish. He scores! Denied by Bjorkstrand. A sweep check by Crevier on Bjorkstrand. Out in front. It scores! It goes off Jason Dickinson. We go to the far side. Look around off a stick. Borgen. They score! A tip out in front. Will Borgen from downtown. 5:17 left in the second period. Ty Cartier makes it 4-1. The Maestro shadowed by Tyler Johnson. Gord out in front. They score! That's hockey, baby! What a play! Ellie Tolvanen. Evans, little backhand deferral. McCann, here it comes. He scores! Jared McCann with a bomb. They'll play it deeper now for Devon Shore, wedged by Philip Roos. Belmar scores! There's a goal for Pierre-Edouard Belmar. And the Kraken, to a man, do it again. That is their DNA. That is Kraken hockey, baby.
The postgame locker room was a much happier place for Seattle after winning their second straight.
Defending well, and like I said, when they defend well, obviously we win pucks and we can go north, so it all starts in the defensive zone and we can build off of that.
Things happen quick, especially in this league, and you just got to move your feet and move the puck, and I think I found that, and our team's found success doing that for sure.
No, there's been a lot of nights where Joey's provided winning goaltending. We weren't able to provide that next goal or that first goal for him. We've been able to do that the last couple of nights, and he's done his job. A lot of guys were involved, but our back end was involved. Did some good work on the offensive blue line, and that's through the entire group of six.
Seattle's back on home ice tomorrow night against the LA Kings. That starts at 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. Seahawks looking to snap a 4-game losing streak on Monday Night Football against the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. Big question is whether Geno Smith will be back in the lineup this week after missing last week with a groin injury. Coach Pete Carroll sounds hopeful.
Geno's went through the walkthrough today. He's going to practice today. He had a good lift this morning, so we'll see how each day goes. We'll go one day at a time and figure that out. But I know it's a big concern to everybody. But he feels really good, and he threw the heck out of the ball in the morning session. So we'll see what happens today with the really hope that he's ready to go. And if not, Drew's going to be there. We'll mix reps to make sure that everybody's prepared. But that's a good sign for us.
Philly has lost 2 straight, but Coach Carroll says this is basically a playoff game for the Seahawks.
There is so much at stake from this point forward. There's so much with 5 other teams that are vying for this spot. It's a run to the finish and see who wins the race, and it's exciting. And we got to make the most of it and be tuned into it. And everybody's is well aware. We haven't missed that point from the other night, so everybody knows what's going on. And we got to put together a great week to prepare and make sure that we get this done. It's going to be a great challenge. This is a fine football team, and with a winning mentality and all that, but that's the kind of challenges we got to take on to get there.
Linebacker Bobby Wagner says the focus for the defense has been on improving and preventing the big plays. He says they can't afford to look past this week.
I don't think we could think like that, in my honest opinion. I think we need to make sure we win and do what we need to do to win, and everything else will take care of itself. The moment we start thinking about playoffs and this and that and all this other stuff, you miss what's right in front of you. So I don't think that's my message to the guys, or I don't think that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as we have a good team, coming in here. We have got to do better, and we need to win, and that's the focus. And everything else will take care of itself.
Seattle and Philadelphia kick off at Lumen Field Monday night at 5:15. That'll be on ESPN and ABC. Well, they covered the ice and put up basketball court last night at Climate Pledge Arena. That's in preparation for the big tilt to men's college basketball tonight. Number 10 Gonzaga takes on number 5 UConn, the defending NCAA champions. 7 o'clock. That'll be broadcast on ESPN2. Washington State hosts Santa Clara tomorrow at 11 on the Pac-12 Network. Battle of Seattle back at Climate Pledge Arena Sunday when Washington faces Seattle U at 5 o'clock on ESPN+. Women's weekend schedule begins today in Berkeley, where Eastern Washington's facing Cal. Washington hosts St. Mary's tomorrow at 1. WSU will host Houston Sunday at 2, while number 21 Gonzaga hosts South Dakota State on ESPN+. Eastmont dropped a road game at Davis in Big 9 boys basketball last night. The Pirates scored 36 points in the first quarter, went on for the 83-49 victory. In other action, Quincy beat Ephrata in the Battle of the Basin. Tonasket topped Okanagan. Waterville-Mansfield down Pateros. Riverside Christian handled Cascade Christian. Soap Lake swamped Wilson Creek 81-36. Checking the Les Schwab girls basketball scoreboard last night, Davis beat Eastmont 70-33. Ephrata clipped Quincy. Tonasket down Okanagan. Cascade Christian topped Riverside Christian. Soap Lake was 22 better than Wilson Creek. Waterville-Mansfield beat Pateros 52-28. Girls schedule tonight starts at 5:30 with Wenatchee hosting Moses Lake. Ephrata visiting Prosser. Omax hosting Chelan at 5:45. The 6 o'clock games have Brewster at Lake Roosevelt. Soap Lake entertains Manson. Oroville visits Curlew, and Moses Lake Christian plays at Wilson Creek. On the boys' side later on, Waterville-Mansfield plays at Moses Lake Christian at 6. Wenatchee hosts Moses Lake at 7, while Ephrata is at Prosser. Omac entertains Chelan at 7:15. Brewster plays Lake Roosevelt at 7:30, while Manson is in Soap Lake, and Curlew hosts Oroville. NCWLIFE channel will broadcast a doubleheader at Wenatchee High School coming up tonight. Moses Lake in town. Grant Olson with the call. The girls stream live at 5:30. The boys will follow on the stream and the TV at 7 o'clock. Girls basketball scheduled for tomorrow. Brewster's at Quincy, while Okanagan hosts Colville. Wenatchee plays at Eastmont at 4:30, while Moses Lake is back home against Sunnyside, and Oroville visits Republic. Etihad plays at Moses Lake Christian tomorrow at 5. Omac visits Lake Roosevelt at 6, while Tonasket girls play at Warden. The Liberty Bell boys have a 1:30 start time tomorrow at home against Granite Falls. Brewster visits Quincy, while Colville plays at Okanagan. Eastmont hosts Wenatchee, while Sunnyside visits Moses Lake, and Republic hosts Oroville. Etihad faces Moses Lake Christian. The 7:30 games have Omac and Lake Roosevelt, while Warden is hosting Tonasket. By the way, NCWLIFE back out on the road tomorrow. Will be at Eastmont High School for the doubleheader. Girls at 4:30, boys at 6. I'll be courtside with your play-by-play. It's the Panthers Wildcats right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Basketball gyms will be a busy place in the Wenatchee Valley this weekend, not just for high school sports, but there are 7 gyms involved in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee for the Winter Magic AAU tournament. According to tournament organizer Ron Stone, 68 teams registered to play today, tomorrow, and Sunday. That means 680 players and their families in town, staying at area hotels, eating at various restaurants. There might be a line this weekend. Another Saturday of prep wrestling tournaments throughout Washington coming up tomorrow. Eastmont is in Yakima for the Cadet Classic at Eisenhower High School. Moses Lake wrestlers are at North Idaho College for a tournament beginning tomorrow morning. Annual Cashmere Invite starts at 10. That's where many schools, including Cascade, Chelan, Manson, Omac, and Quincy will be. Brewster, Ephrata, Lake Roosevelt, Liberty Bell, Okanagan, Tonasket, and many others at the Oroville Invite. That starts tomorrow at 10. Wenatchee Wild have a couple more home games on the schedule this weekend before the holiday break. And Wenatchee's hoping for a packed house tonight as they welcome the Western Conference leading Prince George Cougars at 7 o'clock. Wild welcome Everett on Sunday at the Town Toyota Center at 4 o'clock. You want tickets? Go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a great weekend.
Hey everybody, Dan Coons, host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Monday's show, a very special guest, Santa Claus. Santa Claus will be joining me right here in the studio on Monday. I am looking forward to it, and I hope, I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call here. Just a minute. Hello, Santa. Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I was just cutting the promo to let folks know you're going to be on the show on Monday. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's understandable. You know, these things happen. No. We'll touch base next week. We'll get you on. Say hi to Mrs. Claus for me. Okay, bye-bye. Apparently there's some sort of wildcat strike by the elves that Santa has to take care of. Labor issues. Join me on Monday. I'll wing it.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great weekend.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.